Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. In today's episode, we have 24 hours until we leave for LS Fest. This Mustang, mid-engine LS Mustang, behind me, going to LS Fest. The jump con behind that, going to LS Fest. Burnt con's going to LS Fest. Single seater, all that good stuff, going to LS Fest. So we've been working on our 67 mid-engine Fastback Mustang for the last few weeks, and we got about 24 hours to throw as much fun stuff at it and getting it to a point where it's safe to run, drive, and race before LS Fest. We got 24 hours, we're gonna have some fun wrenching, be a little bit of an all-nighter marathon. We'll see where we get by tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. Before I get down to work, I want to take a second out to thank our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is celebrating their 3rd anniversary as one of the top RPG games out there. But this game started strong from the beginning and never slowed down. Just check out some of the amazing things that have happened over those years. The Doom Tower, which has over 120 levels, introduced a whole world of new and terrifying bosses to slay. As a high-level collection of RPG, Raid started with hundreds of unique characters and bosses, but that didn't stop them from adding more and more new champions. Last year, Raid added a whole new faction, the Shadowkin, are a tribe of warriors from the Far East, recently liberated from the region of evil. And of course, no review can end without addressing the newest and biggest addition to Raid. I'm talking about the Hydra clan boss. This monster has multiple heads, each has a different ability and requires a different strategy to destroy. And they got tons of updates. This month, Raid's celebrating its 3-year anniversary, so they got a ton of insane things in store. They got free gifts for everybody, a bunch of new content and events, new champions, new artifact sets, and a personalized video showcasing every player's Raid journey and their own personal achievements. Right now is hands down the best time to get started playing in Raid, so if you're not playing yet, hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen right here, and you'll get a special huge B-Day package worth $40. It includes 3 champions: Misericord, Tiger Soul, Romero, 10 Magic XP Brews, 10 Force XP Brews, 10 Spirit Brews, and all this treasure is going to be waiting for you right here. And remember guys, those rewards are only available for new players and only available for the next 30 days, so you want to jump on it quick. Also, all the new and existing players can get a bunch of birthday gifts worth over $25. Once you're in the game, after clicking on all the links, just enter the promo code 3YearsRaid, it's on the screen right here, to get your hands on everything. So guys, now is the time to go download Raid. Hit that link in the top of the description. It helps support the channel, it helps support Raid. Go do it now. Thanks to Raid for sponsoring this episode. Let's get down to work. First things first, yesterday I started doing a lot of boring safety stuff. That led into today. It's all about firewalls. We gotta block the potential for a fire to happen in the engine bay and make it into the cabin. So here's a bunch of firewall action. And that leads us to right now. So there is no spot right now where you could, stick a finger through to get into the engine bay from inside the cabin. This is all blocked off, that's all blocked off, everything's all blocked off. The next thing that we gotta do is seam seal it all up too, because any tiny little crack or anything like that is an opportunity for flames to potentially get through. So we gotta seam seal it all up. That's what they do in originally factory cars, and that's what we'll be doing. But we're gonna do that later because it's sticky, gooey mess, and that's not the thing that we wanna do right now. So Oscar is working on welding body panels on. You can see he blasted some strip welds or strip tacks on that railing right there, which will eventually be fully welded out. But for now, we're just tacking stuff on. He's working on the roof panel right now. We've got the steering wheel mocked up. I haven't even shown you our new cool steering wheel, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the steering wheel set up, trimmed to length, get it all fit correctly how we want it, and then I'll show you guys how we did it. All right, we got our electric power steering booster mounted at the right angle to shoot our shaft through in the right spot. I trimmed the shaft and welded it all together. It's the paint is drying up on that now, and we should have a really nice fit. So we'll show you that when it's all done. We're moving over to a couple different things. One of them is when we did our original design for this harness bar, we were going to come off of here, but as you guys know, we want to lean this seat back as far as we can, and these were getting in the way of our room to lean our seat. So we redesigned the firewall so we could put the harnesses behind this bar right here and just wrap them around the bar rather than do this and then another bracket and then into the seat. So we're gonna cut all these off right now. Oscar's gonna work on cutting those off, and I am gonna start prepping the doors for installation. Check out this beautiful arrangement of Nitto tires. Huge thanks to Nitto for all the tires for LS Fest. We got NT05s for drag racing this here Mustang. They were for that they're single seater, but it's not going to be drag racing this time. Maybe the one in Kentucky will drag race. So NT05s for drag racing. Those are our actual wheels we're going to use, and then those are some burners if we want to do some drifting. They hooked us up big time. Link will be in the description. Thank you, Nitto. I love you guys. Koenig wheels also always hooking us up. These wheels are awesome. They're going to go on our Lemons car as well, and we got some hypergrams back there for our drifting. I'll show you in a second. So doors. This door has active rust on it. That's not a good thing. We have passive rust, like some of this browning over here. That was like okay, cool patina on Oscar's car. But this is gonna eat through the door, so we can't have this. And I'm gonna take this door, so really can't have it. So what I'm gonna do is get most of this rust off of here by a little bit of hand sanding, and then I'm gonna mask this nice chrome piece off so I don't accidentally paint it. And then I'm gonna hit this with some Steel It Gray, and that should stop it from rusting any further. Bar looking much better, all cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and wipe the interior down with acetone and get ready for seam sealing, the final part of our firewall to keep it all super safe. And the door's almost ready. I didn't want this to like not match the patina look, so I purposely got a run in there. I purposely did that. And somebody mentioned that we didn't have a hi mom on this car, so hi mom. Doors are ready. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing wiped down in acetone and do our seam sealing. We're gonna do our best to make this look really, really good. We got doors on, we've got panels seam sealed. It is 2:30 a.m. I am very worried about the amount of time that we have left. So we're gonna go ahead and Oscar made a good point. He said, I'm gonna feel a lot better when we get the cowl on there and get the whole front end on. And I think that's a very, very good idea. So we're gonna go ahead and get the cowl on here. It'll get welded in. Or what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little strip weld so we can cut it back off later, because this all has to be sealed off from the world. We don't have time to do it right now. We're not far from being able to do it. We have all these inlay pieces made. We basically just have to make a flat piece that runs all the way across there and seals out all this, and then we'll be good to go. This is welded in, so this is all good. Steering is gonna be great. We just gotta put that shaft in. But yeah, so we're gonna strip weld the cowl in there so it will be able to be cut off, and then we're gonna build out the whole front end. Front end is almost on. We didn't make any changes to the front end other than the updated LED headlights are installed. They are not wired yet because we don't need headlights where we're going, but those are installed in there. And Oscar's just got one more bolt in that lower splitter, and then we'll be throwing the hood on, and that's a wrap for that. So now we got our seam sealer on everywhere that we wanted it. I did find a really good technique with laying tape as masking guidelines. Then I run my finger over these areas, pull the tape before it gets too firm, and you get a really, really nice finish on it. So like that's what I did down there as well. Looks really nice. So we're gonna be blasting this interior with the Steel It Black. It'll make it look so much better. It's gonna be quite a transformation. And then also the firewall from the backside as well. Well, oh, you can't even see that, it's so dark. We'll all get Steel It Black. It'll help kind of cover up some of our seam sealer ugliness as well. Lots of painting, and then we can start assembling stuff. This is gonna get exciting. Look at that transformation. I was just telling what's your name again? Oscar? Pablo? He said that, not me. I know the microphone doesn't pick him up when he does that. Anyways, I was just telling Oscar, if your car doesn't look good with a fresh coat of Steel It Black, then your car is kind of crap. It makes everything look really, really good. Inside, interior is looking great. Backside is looking really good. Everything looks really clean. So that's awesome. We're gonna go ahead and work in the front here. We've got some technical stuff we got to worry about as far as battery placement for racing. It's 6 in the morning, so we're all a little bit delusional, but still making good progress. Wait, no, well, we just took a break for the paint to dry, so we've made no progress, but we will. All right, underneath this glorious hood is our relocated battery inside its battery tray. So it's double firewalled off from the driver's compartment. That's good. We're gonna be able to do our stuff. You probably saw in the time lapse, we gave an attempt at doing the old, excuse you, Kyle. We gave a good attempt at doing the old school molding method of installing the windshield glass. Couldn't get it to work, so we are doing the new school way, which is glue it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue in the windshield. Oscar's gonna start getting our seat brackets ready to mount our seats in here. Probably gonna mount 2 of them even. Windshield installed successfully. So what we do when we're doing this, if we're gonna glue one that traditionally has molding, I order generic molding off of eBay, and this is like just a generic trim piece, and then I paint the inside of the windshield to the amount that I really like want to cover and hide for the glue on the inside, and it comes out looking really good. So we've done this on a few different builds, and I'm pretty happy with the results. Now, we've got to fit wheels on this bad boy. It is going to be interesting. The car right now is sitting a few inches higher than it sat when we first got it, because it's on jacks right now essentially. So these wheels are going to go up even more, plus they need room to actuate. This is going to get crazy. What I'm going to do is start cutting, and I'm going to stop cutting when we're able to fit our wheel and tire package in here. I have a generic trailer fender that I ordered online to potentially use the steel from it. I'm going to use that as my template, my outline, to start my cutting, and I really hope I don't mess this up. I think it's going to look really cool though when we get these wheels in here. Very, very, very cool. Huge wheels, low car, very, very low car plus huge wheels is always like Hot Wheels. reveal. All right, guys. Well, this is interesting looking. Let me close the door here. It's sitting on its own wheels once again. It looks like the body's got a little bit of a rake to it. I can't really tell. It could be how the SLC chassis was the entire time, but when you look at the ground there and look at that bottom plate, that aluminum plate, that's all SLC chassis, and it looks like it's up a little bit higher in the front. Not really sure. The car looks amazing. It's probably, the suspension probably hasn't settled at all either, so it's probably gonna go a little bit lower, but it is pretty insane-o wide. Let's jump over to the interior and then I'm gonna talk about my opinions on the wide body. So, inside the interior, the overall color scheme for this car, by the way, guys, is black with red accents. So, Corbeau sent us these amazing black leather seats with red accents with diamond stitching and these awesome 5-point harnesses. They're all SFI approved, so we can take them and use them for racing and everything like that. That made the interior just about a million times better. So huge shout out to Corbeau for the support on this build. We appreciate it so much. These seats look amazing in this car. It's super, super comfortable. The seating position is fantastic as well. They recline and everything like that. So I will have a link to Corbeau's website. I can't thank them enough. If you guys are looking for a great set of seats, good quality, and also very economical, I would check them out. So we got seats and harnesses all installed, and back to the wide body. Okay, so we have a saying around here when we're building crazy stuff, and it's trust the render. Trust the render. From some angles, the renderings that I have look really cool with this. It's basically very, very similar to Ken Block's Unicorn's wide body. And from some angles, I love the look of that car, and from some angles, I'll be honest, I don't like the look of that car. And so this is an option. One thing that's not an option and never was an option was running a completely flush wheel or maybe a little bit of poke out in a mild wide body. That was never an option. We measured it out so many different ways. We tried our hardest, but something like this is an option. This is a set of burners, drift wheels that Koenig sent us, and Nitto was awesome enough to give us tires for. And this is just a 10.5 inch wide rear on an 18 with a nice meaty rear tire. Sticks out a lot less, and this would allow us to build a more mild wide body if we wanted to. So those are the options. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. We're going to be bringing both sets of wheels and tires to LS Fest so we can test them out. I'm not going to be building a wide body kit onto this right now because, as you can imagine, if the suspension settles anymore, we go driving around and we start scraping, then I have to go cut everything off and go all the way back to scratch. So this is the perfect time to take it out on a track, take it out, drive it in anger, and figure out if it's scraping. Then we just grab the cutoff wheel. It's battery powered. We bring it with us. We zip another line around it and like take off a 1/4 inch, take off a 1/2 inch, and we can figure out exactly where our fenders need to be trimmed and where we can stop trimming them. This is just crazy. Another hard thing about having really wide-bodied Mustangs is the front end. The front end of this car is absolutely beautiful as it sits right now, but when you widen it out so much over here, it becomes really hard to integrate into that look. That's probably the most challenging thing, and yeah, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't have a great design. I think that even the Unicorn, that's where the design kind of falters, so it is what it is though. It's 1 p.m. We're starting to load vehicles onto the trailer to get ready to go to LS Fest. Jump-a-con goes on first. I've got a few final things. So for going on the trailer, this thing is going to be on the Koenig Hypergrams all the way around, but we are going to bring the custom 3-piece wheels. This car still has no steering wheel, so let's see what I can get going on that dashboard area, steering wheel contraption. Worked for quite a while on this steering wheel thing, and I'm really happy that all the work came out well. So I really like the look of the steering wheel. It's kind of just a classic shiny black. I really hope I didn't scratch it in all of this hubbub. It looks like I might have. Dang. Well, I bought it on eBay and it was only like 20 bucks, so I guess I'll just Probably buy another one. I want no scratches. Anyways, I like the way it looks in this interior. I think it all really goes together very, very well. Just threw in this part of the dash, even though we have no gauges in there right now. The gauges didn't all fit right. So, and then we have the rest of the dash, but to install it, it needs to be trimmed over there, and I didn't want to do that in a rush. So I just went ahead and went with this. It's all firmly secured and good to go. So I think that's it for our interior. All right, the Mustang is next up on the truck, so I gotta go quick. I want to throw a few things in there, and then we're gonna do some more stuff when we get to Vegas, so don't leave us quite yet. I clearanced out so the wheel could get full turning radius. You guys remember what we've called our eyebrows, the piece that's gonna come from here to here. I'm gonna go ahead and make those up real quick, and if you're like us and say you bought some hood pins and then you lost the actual pin parts, you can do what we're gonna do, which is disassemble all my key rings, take your BS for Build key tag, and then take the key ring off, and we're gonna shove it through that hole to keep this thing nice and shut. That's it, guys. We're 100% out of time. I think we worked the last like 30 plus hours absolutely straight, weeks of 14, 16-hour days, no weekends. But I'm very proud of what we've got. Like, I can't even talk anymore. I'm proud of what we've come up with. These definitely didn't have to get on, but I'm glad they're here. We're gonna touch up, paint them when we're in Vegas. I robbed all the key rings off my keychain, so that'll stop the hood from coming up. We have a built not bought. These are all available at beastforbuild.com. Oh, except for this was a SEMA 2019 special one. The turbos are on wrong. So that's it. This car goes in front of the car with the turbos that are on wrong. And we are heading to Vegas, baby. LS Fest, here we come.
All right, guys, we got all set up at LS Fest. The Mustang's out here. We have it on the 20-inch wheels because it turned out the 18s didn't actually fit. So we're only on the 20s. It's our only option right now. But we've got the Mustang out here. Burnt-A-Con's right next to it. Jump-A-Con is in the eBay Motors booth. Single-seater is out here too. So with any luck, over the next 2 days, we're going to get this thing on the track and we're going to give it a proper shakedown. I'm super, super excited to give this thing a rip. LS Fest is so crazy, I forgot to film an outro. So we made it, we're tired, but we're really, really excited. We're gonna wake up early tomorrow and just have a really, really good day. Hopefully with a lot of racing involved. I'm very, very excited. First thing we gotta do though is just shake the car down. We just gotta go take it for a drive. We haven't even done that yet. Hopefully if that goes well, then we could do, you know, maybe some drag racing, some autocrossing, some stuff like that. And I got a secret little surprise, something we could do to spice up this car a little bit. We brought nitrous, just in case. So, make sure you guys stay tuned in. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!